Hi everyone and welcome to Nicko's Kitchen's What You Want. Today's recipe request comes in from the Facebook user Mark Warden, and he's asked me to make some biscuits and gravy, so let's get started.
He's got budget meals Monday, what you want Wednesday, fast food Friday, what else could he share? It's Nicko's Kitchen where satisfying meals are prepared.
So guys, the first thing that we're going to do to get started on our biscuits and gravy is make our biscuits, and I'm going to be using a food processor for this to start off with. Now, first thing I'm going to be putting in is some cold butter. Next in, of course, I'm going to be putting in some flour, but I'm using some self-raising flour. Now, if you can't get any self-raising flour, just use normal flour with some baking powder added, about a teaspoon. Next in, I'm going to be adding in some sugar. Now I'm going to be adding in some buttermilk to this mixture as well, and this makes our biscuits nice and creamy. And I'm also going to just add a few drops of vanilla. Now we want to form a dough with this, so I'm just going to pop the lid on the top, pulse it a few times, let it rip. So guys, I've just taken out our dough here from the food processor. Now I'm just going to put some flour on the dough there, some flour on the board, and I'm just going to knead this, not for very long, because I don't want to make these biscuits like really tough on the inside. I still want them quite light and fluffy on the inside, almost like a scone. So you only want to knead this for about 2 to 3 minutes, if that. And I'm just going to roll out our dough until it's about that thick. Now I'm just going to be using a glass for this to cut out our shapes. So guys, I've just put them on a baking tray, and I'm using one of these silicone mats, but if you don't have one of these, just use some baking paper. And I'm going to pop it into a preheated oven at about 180 degrees C, and we're going to pop them in there for about 20 minutes. So guys, we're now going to get started on the gravy part of our biscuits and gravy. And the first thing I'm going to do, just into a pan over a medium to high heat, I've got some sausage or some ground beef here. Now this is flavoured ground sausage. You could just use regular ground or minced beef for this and spice it up yourself. You could just use it plain and just have salt and pepper if you wanted to. This is an Italian sausage mix. And I'm not putting any oil in because I think there's plenty enough fat in there to render down as we cook this. So this is only going to take around about sort of 4 to 5 minutes just to break down and cook. So we've finished cooking our sausage, it's cooked through, so I'm going to transfer this to a bowl, but I want you to use the same pan for the next step. It's very important. We want that flavour of the pan to help make our gravy. So what I want you to do now, over a medium heat, I'm just going to be adding in some butter, and as that butter is melting down, I'm going to be adding in some cold milk, but not all at once, just a little bit at a time. And now that I've warmed up a little bit of the milk and butter, I'm now going to just be putting in some flour. And now this is going to thicken up our mixture. So just incorporate that a little bit. It'll clump up on you, but that's okay because we're going to be adding more milk shortly. So this is where we're going to add the milk a little bit at a time here. Just incorporate it. So guys, this is what we're after, this gravy thick texture. So now what I'm going to do is add back in that sausage, and there is our gravy and sausage mixture done. So we're going to wait for our biscuits to come out of the oven, and then we can serve up this bad boy. All right, let's get a bit of biscuits and gravy up in this here. You know what, I don't make a lot of it, I gotta be honest. And I know my gravy's a little bit thicker than your normal, but you know what, I actually quite like it like that. I don't want like a soupy, real thin gravy. I like it a little bit thick, but it's just my version, so don't be hating, but let's give it a try. Oh. Wow. You know, why haven't I done this before? Why haven't I tried this before? It tastes really good. It's just real comfort food. You could just get a plate of this. You could have this for breakfast. You could have it for lunch. You could have it for dinner. It's so versatile. And I tell you what, it tastes awesome. Give it a try if you haven't already. Well, I hope you enjoyed my take on biscuits and gravy. Hope you enjoy them and give them a try. A little bit different, something I haven't made a lot before. All the ingredients are below, so check it out. And I'll see you this Friday for another fast food recipe. So until then, take care.